Titanfall has always had a very enthusiastic and dedicated player base. In fact, they even seem to have invented their own language just to communicate with each other. But as the population of it is still really quite small compared to other games, their problems can often go unheeded. No one really hears about them. There's just too few players. And yet digging into what's been happening over in Titanfall for this video was very eye-opening and seems to be completely and utterly random with no reason for it at all. But let's start at about where I first heard about this story before I had to dig into it for more details. You see, Apex Legends is vastly more popular than Titanfall, and so when something happens to Apex, people notice, and this has been severe. Apex has had their launchers hacked. They've had endgame messages in the game hacked, and in fact, if you try and play it and you're on one of these hacked servers, then you can't even play the game. You are completely locked out because they have taken over the playlist and just disabled all of the other modes. This is astonishing. And it's very different than what you get in some of the games because you see things like aimbots, wall hacks, and DDoSes. All of those comes from the client machine, the client side. It doesn't need access to their servers at all. You can do it all remotely. But these kind of hacks, and admittedly I don't know much about this kind of area, but just from common sense perspective, I'm assuming this is the case. You must need access to their servers. Because if I'm connecting to Apex and I'm trying to access the playlist on the server, then surely the connection is between me and the server, and somehow the hacker has to get involved in that. So whether you would get into my client somehow or get into their servers, you have to be at one end or the other and insert yourself somewhere in the middle. That's a lot different than a wall hack where I can just have something on my own machine and away I go. So it seems quite severe to me, this kind of problem. Now, the reason they've done this is because they want to save Titanfall, and admittedly their complaints, they don't seem unfounded at all. They take you to a website called Save Titanfall. Now, Save Titanfall details the problems, but it seems that Titanfall 1 and 2, from what I've heard, has a large issue with people DDoSing the servers to take them offline. And when those servers get online, they've been doing strange things like filling them with just mass aimbot accounts just so that nobody can possibly play. And it's literally made the games unplayable for the people that liked it. And so the guy that really liked it, that wanted to play Titanfall, that loved Titanfall enough to do this kind of thing, got angry enough that he thought, if you're not going to do anything, then I am going to ruin Apex and just blow this whole problem wide open. Because I'm sure, like me, a lot of people had no idea this was going on. And so I can understand his justification, just really not sure exactly what he hopes to get out of it. And that's not just down to him. I don't see what the people destroying the servers get out of it either. Because Titanfall isn't a very popular game. The people that like it love it. But from a pure player numbers perspective, it just doesn't have the population. So this really is attacking a population of people that just aren't very numerous to begin with. And so you're putting a lot of time and effort and money into taking off servers that really probably would have just died on their own. And Respawn have been trying to do their best, or at least they've been sending out the right signals. Even in April, they've been saying that we're aware of what's going on and we're trying to help. And this is backed up by other posts that they've done, including one from Ryan, who is the director of communications. So you'd think he'd know what's going on. He says, literally, I wish all the hackers, cheaters, and malicious actors who would ruin games would find more fulfilling hobbies. Hobbits? Hobbies. We're not in Lord of the Rings here. Why use your talent to tear communities apart? The situation affecting Titanfall right now is so frustrating. Weeks of work is required to address each new stupid thing. And they've been going through all of the things. And he genuinely seems to have tried to find out exactly what the problem is. He says, including instead of delivering new value and building content, all we're doing is tearing our hair out trying to find the new exploit, the new type of attack, and he even spoke to the individuals involved. And just said, you know, why do you do it? And they didn't answer. Or could you knock it off? And some of them just agreed. This really does seem to be an idea of just some people want to watch the world burn. And maybe they can't target games with higher populations that have more servers. Maybe they just don't have the resources for that. And so they targeted what is essentially a very vulnerable, weak target. It won't have the number of servers that other games do. Now, the issue comes down to, really, Is this a good tactic? Because I can appreciate that there's a problem, and I can understand why they feel like they need to do it. I can understand why they're angry enough to actually put this much work into getting it done. And they've tried. They have tried to go through and do it the normal way. This website's been up for a few months. They've tried to get people to care. But because Titanfall just isn't that popular a game, it never really caught on. So I can appreciate the problem. But you really think this is the way? And that's what I keep coming down to, right? You're targeting the developers, and they said they were helping. And whether you think they are or not isn't really the point. They said they were. And that's all the information we have. But you're not targeting the developers anymore. When you're shutting down Apex servers, you're not harming Respawn. You're not making Respawn do anything. What you're doing is harming players of another game. And these are players that you want on your side. If you want Respawn to take action, what you really want is public opinion behind you. You want them supporting you. And how many of them do you think will support you now? You know, this is a Sunday, as I make this, a Sunday evening. People go back to work tomorrow morning. And especially with it being July 4th, a lot of Americans have probably got a holiday off. They're going to go to work tomorrow, and they just want to chill on their favorite game. And they want to log into Apex, and when they log into Apex, they can't. Why? Because some moron has locked them out of the servers to complain about another game. And they don't care what your problem is. They don't care what you're doing. All they know is they can't get their entertainment. They've been locked out of what they want to do. And that means they're not going to like you. And not only did they not know about your problem before, but now they're going to think you deserved it. And that's the problem that I keep coming down to. If you want players on your side, if you want the weight of public opinion behind you to try and put pressure onto Respawn to fix this, and that's assuming they are able to fix this, then you've just lost all of it. Literally anyone that hears about this that wants to play Apex won't be on your side anymore. All you've done is annoy them, and they will think that you're getting what you deserve. And I think that's a tough argument to disagree with, because the way you've gone about this is completely and utterly wrong in any way I can even possibly think of. Not just morally, but just you're not going to achieve what you want to achieve. There are, like, the people you should be targeting are surely the people which are destroying the Titanfall servers. And if you do that via Respawn by getting people on your side, or you do it directly to the people which are causing you your problem, either of those could have been a good strategy. But this is really counterproductive, because I didn't have any idea about what was going on with Titanfall. And I'm sure you wanted the word out, and you've done it very well. I'm here talking about it. I now know what your problem is, and I genuinely think that you have a good cause to be annoyed. You have to remember, gamers are people who literally get annoyed when a patch downtime goes on for half an hour longer than was advertised. These are people that get annoyed that even when a patch downtime is advertised in the game, they still log on and get angry because they can't play, even when they've had a week's warning. These are not the people to lock out of what they want to do, especially if you want them to give any kind of support. And I think this website shows that you do want their support. That is your aim. But really, if you want to spread the word, as it says here, you have done it in the last possible way you should have. You have done this in the worst possible way, and I think you've completely and utterly just shot yourself in the foot on this one. But that's it from me. If you liked the video, press like and let me know what you thought of the destruction down below. Whose side are you on? Do you prefer Apex or Titanfall? Let me know. Hit subscribe for more videos in the future and the notification bell to be notified, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.